Hi, I'm Mr. Cafferky, and this is my back to school night video for U.S. History 7 and ESOL History 7. A little bit about myself. This is my 7th year teaching at Glasgow. I have a wife, Jessica, who's also a teacher, and I have 2 kids. Teddy is my older child, and Miles is my younger child. Teddy's 4, and Miles is about 1. You see here also we have a cat. His name is Pedro. And I like sports a lot. You see some of my sports teams on the top. I also like to read. I'm currently reading a book by Kurt Vonnegut called The Sirens of Titan. And I like to watch TV also. We're currently watching, my wife and I, Ted Lasso, which if you don't watch it, you really should. It's delightful. My teaching philosophy is essentially that I try to create a community in my classroom. I think that that's how students learn best. When they feel like we're all part of the same, unit or team working together towards a goal. I feel like they learn when they have opportunities for practice, and then when they can connect that learning, the things we're talking about in class, to their own lives. To be successful in my class, it's pretty simple. Work hard, stick with it, advocate for themselves when they need help. Let me know if they're struggling or they're confused so that I can help them, and then just believe that they can do it. Positive mindset is a really important thing to have, not only in my class, but in school in general. These are our units of study. We have 11. It starts with Reconstruction right after the Civil War, and we essentially just progress chronologically through the rest of the units: westward expansion, industrialization, immigration, urbanization, and progressivism, World War I, the 1920s, Great Depression, World War II, the Cold War, civil rights, and then globalization is essentially current events, things that are happening around the world today. For grading in my class, the grading is pretty straightforward. Formative assessments are essentially classwork and checks for understanding that we do. They're not for a grade. And then we have summative assessments at various points throughout our units of study. And those are where the grades for your child come from in my class. The summative assessments are based on criterions that we use through the IB program, and so your child's grades will come through those assessments. Your student will also get feedback from me on those assessments and on their classwork as well, as another way to sort of gauge their learning, see how they're doing in the class, in the time between summative assessments. For support, I can always be reached via email right there at the top, bcafferky@fcps.edu. On Schoology, there's also a messaging feature on Schoology where you can send me a message via Schoology, and I'll see it on there, and I can communicate with you that way if you prefer. And then as far as academic support for your child, I generally stay after school on Thursdays, but I'm happy to stay any of the other after school days so long as your child sets that up with me ahead of time. So those are the main areas of support. As always, if none of these work for you, please be in contact with me and we can figure out something else. How can you support your child? Talk to them, ask them about what they're learning in my class, and really in any class. And I think it's important also their social emotional health. So, gauging their stress level, how they're handling not just the stress of school, but the stress of the pandemic and things like that. Obviously, it's a very, middle school is a tough time for students and their relationships with each other. So gauging those things as well. And then just encourage your child to seek support when they're having trouble, whether that's support from their teacher, support from their counselor, support. They just need support, right? This is a tough time for all of us. And just making sure that they feel supported and that they are supported is a really good way to help your child succeed. Supplies, now that we have computers, they don't need a ton of things. They really just need their laptop charged, preferably. Although we have chargers at school if they forget them or they're not charged, things like that. They're going to need headphones, at least in my class. And they should, we don't share headphones. Again, what with COVID, students need to have their own headphones. So if they don't have them, if you can't get them, just let me know. I'm happy to help figure out a way to get your child headphones if they can't. But they will need them. They will need them. So again, if that's a problem, just let me know. And then a pen or a pencil. Not everything we do will be on the computer. So just make sure that they have a pen or a pencil. Again, I have pencils. So if once in a while your student doesn't have a pencil, I'm happy to give them one. And that's it. I think it's going to be a great year. I'm very excited for it. And I'm happy to have your kids in my class. And again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please reach out.